Good evening. My name is Chris Shaw, and I'm a fellow colleague in Communications 526. My personal brand story begins in about my high school era. Um, it was during my high school era that I really started to begin to understand who I was and where my passions lied. So I was really invested in music. I always have since I was a little kid. I remember in the house I grew up in, my dad would go in the living room on Sundays or sometimes during the week, and he would just play on the piano anything that he was feeling. And as I grew up, I began to have an appreciation for music and the arts, which led to me eventually signing up for classes and beginning to learn piano myself, as well as learning how to play guitar, which I learned guitar was my thing. I loved it. It was my favorite instrument, still is to this day. Um, but guitar was where I really thrived at. And during my high school years, music became kind of something I depended on um, to get me through some of my harder times. And I eventually took this talent that I had been developing and began to plug it into the ministry at my home church. So I started playing on our youth worship team, and I kept growing, I kept learning, and by the time my senior year had rolled around, I really had kind of made a 180 both in my musical talent, but also um, in my leadership and my capabilities. And so my pastor had asked me to start leading worship corporately on Sunday mornings with our entire church, and I had the amazing opportunity to do that. But during this time, I was still not sure what I was to do with my life, quite honestly. And it was within kind of a blink of an eye that the Lord kind of just laid out the plans He had for me. And I had visited so many other schools other than Liberty and really wasn't sure where to go because I didn't feel that passion inside of me. And so I eventually came across Liberty within about a month of me needing to have all my applications in. And I came and checked out campus, and I just felt the Lord saying, just go for it. This I felt like home. I came and visited campus, and it was just beautiful here. And so I ended up submitting my application and started my journey here at Liberty. And by the time my sophomore year had rolled around, I'd really gotten into the groove of things, but I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. So the summer after my sophomore year, I was kind of doing an internship back at my home church, and I really discovered that I had a passion for ministry as I was helping launch a young adult ministry for our community. And so through this young adult ministry, I was able to help organize events. I was able to help plan meetings and do all kinds of graphics and creative things that I really enjoyed. And I discovered I even had somewhat of a passion for graphic design. And so I ended up switching my major that summer to a degree one of my friends recommended called professional communications. And it's kind of like a hybrid of business and speech communications and graphic design, but the main focus is speech communications. And I thrived in that degree. I love that degree, and I just graduated this past May with it, and I have had the opportunity to do so much great stuff with it, and it's really paid off. I'm a web developer at Liberty University, and I get to help assist in all of the different creative ideas that we get and make them realities. And so it's been an awesome experience. But yeah, that's a little bit about me and who I am and kind of my personal brand story. So I'm really excited to see all of you guys and your different stories as well. So thank you.